I'm Joanna Penn from Mystery Thriller TV, and today I'm reviewing Bible of the Dead by Tom Knox, which I read on the Kindle. Now, as always, I can't resist anything remotely connected to religion, and this book was especially interesting because it's mainly centred around Laos and Cambodia, which is an area I don't really know much about. So I was really interested to read about that area. So I love to learn as I read these thrillers, and I was fascinated by the historical information that he includes in the book about the Khmer Rouge and the killing fields and Pol Pot and that type of thing. So that's the kind of backdrop of the book. I would definitely say that the book has a kind of horror element to it. It's quite graphically violent in parts, and there are some sort of nasty occult objects like the smoke babies, which will definitely give somebody nightmares. And obviously the killing fields of the Khmer Rouge and torture and stuff is really not very nice. So it's actually a very dark book. There's also a kind of gruesome monkey laboratory, which I found quite disturbing. Yeah, and a lot of the time I actually didn't want to keep reading. Interesting that I did keep reading and that I recommend the book, because that's kind of testament to how well the story kept me interested. So there are sort of two parallel stories in the book. The first starts in a cave in France where a young archaeologist, Julia, finds skeletons with these strange holes in their heads, and then her professor and a friend are sort of massacred in a nasty way, and Julia sets about trying to track down the mystery of these skulls and also why these people are being killed. And then in a sort of parallel story to that, we have sort of down on his luck photographic reporter Jake and Kemdar Tech, who's a sort of Cambodian aristocrat scientist who basically team up to go and investigate the Plain of Jars, which is a real place in Cambodia. And in these jars, in one of these jars, is the bodies with the same skeletons and the skulls with the holes in them. So there's the two parallel stories, and between them the body count mounts up pretty fast, and the communists will do anything they can to protect the secret of why these skulls have these holes in, and what's behind the whole mystery. So you keep reading in order to find out, why this happened. But then we sort of kind of get this pursuit as Kemdar and Jake are, followed across Cambodia. We read about, the history, and the travel side is kind of wound up in that, which is why I enjoyed it. I think the author really binds up the historical and religious stuff with the story quite well. There's no kind of jarring switching between narrative and story and background. So I recommend the book, if you like this type of thing, but with that warning that it is quite dark, and I don't think that darkness lets up, but that is appropriate for the cultural background, I think, of the area. And the story basically follows Jake and Kemdar as they find out more about the mystery, and her family gets involved, and it all continues to the climax, and no spoilers here as usual. So why keep reading? Well, you want to know why the skulls are protected, what's the mystery, you want to know whether Kemdar and Jake will actually make it. There are enough characters that he can kill off quite a lot of them. It's definitely fast paced, which I like, and we learn really interesting things about the culture, which I also enjoyed. You definitely can be a little bit horrified at times, and I did skip over some pages that were not too nasty for me, but I still recommend it. I thought that it had some really good original elements. I mostly read a lot about the European kind of religion and monotheistic religion, so it's interesting to read about some of the more the darker side of, I guess, tribal Cambodian beliefs and that type of thing, and the Lao area. So yeah, that is Bible of the Dead by Tom Knox, and thank you. I'm Joanna Penn from Mystery Thriller TV.